Hello, this is Thespa with Vintiquities, and today I'm going to show you a journal, a junk journal, that I made with things that I had on hand. Dolly over at the GipsyRosePaperie, she put a challenge out to everyone to make a junk journal using only the things from your stash, because we've all got tons and tons and tons of stuff that we collect. We collect, and maybe we get around to using it, and maybe we don't. So these are all things that I have collected. A lot of vintage things, a lot of vintage ephemera, antique ephemera, reproduction ephemera, that kind of thing. Just little bits and things that I personally really liked and have never got around to using in any of my personal journals. So I made a journal for the month of October. First of all, I had this really cool old file folder that had this metal thing on the front on one end, and then this kind of tab looking thing with a hole at the other end. So I folded it in half and used it for my cover, and this is what I came up with. I had a vintage book of birds and wildlife, and one of the chapters in the book was bird gypsies, and so I had all these really cool cutouts with the word bird gypsy, and it just said kind of whimsical fun to me. So that's my inspiration for the book, and also there's other wildlife in the book as well, but so this is the little tab that was on there, and then I put the word, cut out that word from a page in the book and slid it in there, and then this is another little metal bit that I had, so I just glued it down. It's a really old piece from I think probably from a drawer or something, but these are some recycled buttons that came off of an old shirt, and all kinds of ephemera on the front of that. There's a little pocket there that I made out of an old book page. I have a lot of book pages and dictionaries and things. I like this page from a book on making your own hand shadows, puppets, and thought that was pretty cool that it had birds on there. And then I just wrote a quote from a poem by Langston Hughes. It's hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. So that's one of my favorite poems, so I went ahead and wrote that on the back. So this is a piece of ribbon that I found at the Goodwill bins, and it was just like this. I didn't do anything to it. I just found it, and I was like, that would be a really cute ribbon for a tie for a junk journal. So I didn't think I would be using it on my own, but I used that. So there's the front. I love this image here. So I'll open this up. It's a very eclectic journal. So here we have a little pocket. And there's a little booklet inside made out of old pattern paper, and I just tore those edges. All the edges are just torn differently, and it just kind of makes for a very nice little booklet. And then I stamped that little image inside and put it underneath the first page, so it just kind of hides in there, so I can put pictures or jot down little notes or whatever inside of that. So that's in there. I'll close that up later. This is I had two of these vintage button cards that say Bluebird on them, and I just absolutely adore them. They have the cutest little bluebird on them, and I have just saved them and saved them and saved them for many years, and I thought, this is the perfect challenge, just use it. And this is how I had always planned to use them, but they were just so pretty, I couldn't bring myself to do anything with them. And so I'm really glad that this challenge has kind of made me go ahead and use it because I'm really going to enjoy looking at it and having it in my journal. So then this has a little pocket with the journal card in it. And then I just placed an old stamp on there. This is a vintage patch that I found at the Goodwill outlet. I do a lot of my junk journal shopping at the Goodwill outlet. That's a little envelope, a vintage envelope with a vintage thank you card on it that I can do some journaling in. This cute little image of this bird here. So this is the next page, and it has a few different things here. I've got this little tie here, and this unties, and then this flips out like so, and it's 3 little pockets. There's that one, and I used this one because I had this cool sticker. This is Happy State Co. And it has the outline of Arkansas, which I live in Arkansas, so that was kind of like the perfect tag to go ahead and use that sticker. And then I found this set of cards. They're just playing cards. I'm going to put some paper on the back and use it for a journaling spot, but I think that's a really cute picture on the front of that. And then there's also another journaling card there. And then this is a set of rub-ons that I've had for a little while that I've been really wanting to use, and it has a whole bunch of different pieces of art that you can add to your journals to make them all cute. It just ties there. And then right here we have a vintage paper clip, and it is paper clipped onto this side. So this is the vintage paper clip. I have a whole bunch of these, and I just think they're so cool. And they've got a lot of tarnish on them, and just the shape of them is pretty cool. So I've been wanting to use those. Here I have a little file folder. It says, "In the dark blue sky you keep, and often through my curtains peep, for you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky." It's a little poem about stars. And this is just a little journal card with some fabric stapled to the top, a little pocket, and then this is just a little file folder that can be used and journal on that. And then this is a vintage reproduction of a letter. I love finding vintage letterhead that has the blue color to it, and so I always try to save those if I can find those, and lots of journaling space on the back of that. So just slide that over the edge of the page, and then place the journal card back on that. And then that's that page there. And it also has a page from an herb book. This is a vintage card. I just love the little artwork on it. It's so cute. I love her little sweet face and little kitten. Just so cute. So I did a little collage here, and then a little fabric there. A little bird collage here. Pages from old books that I've saved, and finally getting to use them up. This is an old photocopied page from a long time ago when they still came out kind of purple. And then this is just a little journal card that I copy dyed, and then this is a reproduction letter that I thought was kind of cute. So those just tuck in there. And then this is some ribbon that I have saved for a long time, and I kind of like peacocks and stuff, so that always just kind of reminded me of peacock stuff. So there's just a little bit of that there, and this flips up for more journaling space there. A little bit of collage. Then the next page. This is a little bag, paper bag, and there's this little journal card here. And there's some collage on the back papers. And then this little journal card here has a little bird brad on it. And then for my brads, I usually cover the back with a little piece of tape so that they don't get caught on everything. So that is that. You could also cover them with a piece of paper or something as well. So over here we have a little card catalog, card folder. These are coffee dyed. So there's a little journaling card there. And this is also a tuck spot. And then I have a vintage bird page there. I love old bird books. That's such a cute little, and this is just a little claim check that's tucked into there. So on the other side, we have a lot of collage going on here. And then I have this vintage postcard. It's very shiny. It's almost like a photo, but I just love that image of the birds with the hot air balloon. It says greetings. And so on the back, it didn't have any writing on it, so I just attached a journaling card there, but some of the back was ripped because I think it was in an old album, and so some of the paper was ripped, so that's why I went ahead and put a card on the back so I can write on that. And this side, this page is, I found this in an old kind of farmer's almanac type book, and it magazine thing from the 1950s, and this page said only 13 hours to Europe from New York. My son is stationed in Europe right now, and so that just kind of reminded me of him, and I wanted to put it in my book. So he's in England right now, so he'll be there for another 2 years, I think. So I went ahead and put that in there because it just made me smile when I saw that. So that went in there. And here's a little bit of bird stamping right there. And on the 13th page of this book is where I put the month. It's like a little folder. I think it was from a receipt book or something where you put in your receipts for each month, but it has a little bit of collage work on it. I love rabbits, so there's some rabbits in this book as well. And I love this little lop-eared bunny here. A little piece of ribbon. And then I put the word birthday because my birthday is October 13th. And then there's a little journal card here that slides in and out. And it says bingo. And I can put other things in there as well. So that's on the 13th page of my book. Here's another page with some collage, an old page out of a spelling book. I love old spelling books, and I have a lot of old books that I've been saving, and so this is a good way to use them up. Here's a little bunny out of an old book. It says found. It's a little envelope that flips out for journaling space. And then in here we have the letter T for my name, Vespa. And then a vintage playing card with a cute little boy and girl on it. And then some more journaling ephemera there. So I can write what I want to write in there. See, on the other page, there's a little stamping here. I found this really cool set of stamps at Tuesday morning, and I hadn't gotten a chance to use them yet, so that was a good way to use those up. I have had them for a little while. So this page has another vintage paper clip, and it also has a vintage airmail envelope. And inside there is a page from an old book about flying and airplanes from the 1940s, 50s. I think it was like from 1949 or something. Not 100% sure, but it was pretty old. So that just slips in there. And then this page, this was a reproduction of a postcard that I found online. Somebody in Florida was selling it, but I missed it, so I saved the image, and it is from Springdale, Arkansas, which is where I'm from. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is from 1908, and this is what the main street in my town looked like in 1908. So I thought that was pretty awesome So that's going to be a neat thing to have in here. And then this is an old ball jar booklet, pamphlet. And I used to do a lot of canning and stuff, so that was kind of a neat little find. I love the color of it, so that was pretty neat. Put that back on there. And then on the inside page, I have this little file folder prongs there. And then I just made up a bunch of book page tabs here, so I can tuck things or I can journal in there. I can do, whatever I want. And then I just love this image back here. It's very bohemian. Another page from an old bird book. I just love how they kind of have all the parts of the bird listed, and it's on a blue background, so that's kind of fun. So this is the other side of the ball canning jar thing, and this is a vintage postcard. So it's got some writing on it, so I'll probably just put a little something on the back so that I can write on it. And then this is a page with some more collage. There's a little piece of an envelope sticking out here, and there's a tiny little tag there for some writing if I want to do some writing, but plenty of room for journaling here. And on the other side of that is some collage work on that side of the envelope. And then that envelope, oops, sorry guys, that envelope opens, and I love the inside of that envelope. It's so pretty. And then I haven't put anything in there yet, but it's a good spot for me to tuck something at a later time. And then on this side we have a vintage postcard, and it has some very velvet feeling flowers, which I just love the very simplicity of this with just a flower and the greenery in the back. It does have a little bit of writing on it, but easily put a journaling card there and plenty of room for journaling there, so it could just be a cover for a hidden journaling area. And then this was a file, I think it was a page out of a photo book where you could glue your photos to the paper, and then this is where it attached, so I just put some old lace there. And so on this side I did some stamping on some paper and then fussy cut them out. These two bird cages, they kind of look like chandeliers. I just thought they were so cute, and then I drew the lines all the way up the page so they look like they're hanging there. This is an envelope that I coffee dyed, and then this is another reproduction blue ephemera that I just aged, and I can go in and journal on that. I love the blue, the vintage blues. Okay, so on this page, it's a very simple page, plenty of room for journaling. It says, after a little food and rest, they are on their way. There is no attraction to hold them once they are ready for their travels again. And that was a page from the Bird Gypsies section of that book. This is a little envelope, and this is a vintage card here. It says, although you are too easily distracted, you show rare ability. Perseverance will gain success. So that's a little reminder to me to keep going. And then here it has just a little journaling card, and then I stapled this little tab of paper so that I can get it in and out of that. Because sometimes if you have a card or an envelope that's folded over like that, it's hard to get your paper out, kind of messing up your envelope. So that is an easy way to get that out. So a little journaling spot there. And the next page is another page from the Wild Flowers and Herbs book. And then here is a vintage word from a sentence building game for children. That was a very simple but fun page. On this page we have a tuck spot right there. This is an end page from a book that has kind of a blue tint to it. So this is just a little journaling card there. So this right here is another vintage paper clip. It's just an old one. And then this is another flip out with cards in it for journaling. And this is a reproduction German postcard. I just printed it out and glued it to some chipboard. That's just tucks in there, and then those fold up. It goes back on there, and then that tucks in there. And then it has a little bit of collage work and a vintage piece of velvet trim right there. So here's this set of pages. This has a really cute little girl who is looking up at the stars, which is where that star poem came from earlier. And so I just turned it into a little pocket for this little journal card. That was really cute. Kind of reminded me of me when I was little. And then this is a little page from an old, sorry guys, I'm kind of losing the light here, it's later in the day, so and a little page from an old hymnal. It says, "It is truly wonderful." And then this is a reproduction, kind of a collage card with a bluebird on it. There's some collage here with a page, envelope page from one of those little embroidery transfer patterns. That's the back of that card. It's just folded over this. So this is the next page here, and I have a whole bunch of these little hearts that fold out, and so I was like, well, why not? Why don't I just put that in there? Because these are always just so whimsical and fun to me. I've always loved them since I was little, so I love those honeycomb kind of decorations. They're very vintage and happy to me. So I just went ahead and put that little heart in there, and I thought that's a cute little addition to the page. And then this is a little belly band. It says, "Twinkle, twinkle all the night, then the traveler in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark. He could not see where to go if you did not twinkle so." So that's kind of cool, and it's a little belly band with a journal card in there. This is a page from a vintage children's book. I just loved how pretty she looks, and with the blue background, and just so cute. And then it's a little flip open. I can tuck something in there or journal inside of that page there. So turn it to the next page and getting to the end. So this is a reproduction book plate from a book about vintage book plates. And there was all kinds of images of vintage book plates, so I just cut them out of the book and I used them here and there. I just thought they were really cute. So this one flips up, and there's some journaling space here, and this cute little flower image there. And then this is a pocket envelope from book paper, and it just has a little spot for journaling inside of there. Got some stitching around the edges. This book will probably end up having a lot more stitching in it, but for now I was just trying to use up some papers. This is a pocket at the top of the page, and then this stuff just kind of tucks inside. And there's some vintage, 2 sheets of vintage ledger paper there that just kind of tuck in there. This is another one of those blue paper. This is a receipt, a reproduction of a receipt. I did order some actual receipts from Etsy, and I thought those would be cool, but they're not here yet, so, and they're not necessarily for use in this book, but I just ordered them because I thought they were pretty. And that is the last page of the book, and then there's a little tuck spot in there. There's a little bunny rabbit right there, so cute, just hanging out in the snow. And there's a vintage bluebird card, birthday greetings. Thought that went well, since it's going to be my journal for the month of October, or my birth month. And then this is just this is a page that I actually had in the book, and I decided to take it out because it wasn't really working with what I had, so I just tucked it in the back. And this is a vintage dictionary page, and this is the page that had the letter T on it. And I just tri-folded it sideways. There's a little tuck spot here with a little envelope. The envelopes came from my dad's estate, and my grandfather used to be a watch repair guy for Rolex, and so he had all these parts, and that's one of the parts, envelopes for parts. And then this is another one of those vintage book plates, reproductions from that book. And then there's a little page from another book and a journaling space there. Just thought that was really cute. And then so that just folds up and goes back into this little area here. And this is that fabric that I just love. This fabric, I found a vintage tablecloth and it had some holes and some stains, but I just love the print and the colors of it, and I have always wanted to use it, and so I finally used it. So that is that, and then that's the back. And then she just closes back up. And we've got our little book. So thank you for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this flip through of my bird gypsy junk journal. It was a lot of fun to make. I don't know if you saw it, if I showed you these. I made these little dangles and tags and vintage buttons and glass beads and stuff, and that just kind of goes through that natural hole. But hopefully you enjoyed this flip through of my Bird Gypsies junk journal. Thank you, Dolly, for the inspiration to get some things used up and out of the way, and not buy anything to make a junk journal because we got plenty. If you guys are interested in following along, go check out the GipsyRosePaperie. She has a lovely YouTube channel with lots of junk journaling and crafting videos, and come join us on the Alternative Junk Journals Facebook group. And thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment below, because I love to talk to everybody. And I'll see you next time.